When I get that urge for something sweet, and I do actually get that urge fairly often, I usually turn to a cookie recipe I learned while I was working in northern Italy. And these are very simple cookies to make. They're classic in the region of Piemonte in the north, sort of northwest. And I had the opportunity to learn these while I was there from one of the best pastry chefs at the time in Italy. And he showed me the ins and outs. Now, there are a lot of people that make these cookies, but he gave me the secret behind them. And that secret is what I'd like to share with you today. And hopefully we can make up some really nice sweet treats. So the ingredients are very simple. We have 100 grams of egg whites. We have 200 grams of sugar. And we have just shy of 300 grams of ground hazelnut. So it's 1, 2, 3. Very simple to understand and to remember. I'm going to add a little bit of zest from these clementines and just a pinch of salt as well into the cookies. So why don't we just get started? That's probably the best way to do this. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and make the meringue. So I got my tool here. I'm going to make some kitchen music here in a minute. Now, when you're making meringue, I think it's really important to start off slow. Give it a little pinch of salt at this point. The salt really helps build the structure of the meringue. And once the meringue gets a nice frothiness to it, begin adding your sugar, but doing it slowly. Great, looks like we got a nice thick meringue here. Let me just get rid of that. We get our spoon out. What you're looking for is this should just really stand straight up, and it does really quite nicely. And so that's a perfect meringue for this particular recipe. Give that a quick little mix. We're just going to go ahead and add all of the hazelnuts at once. Pop them right in there. Now we just want to just fold these in. You don't have to be too gentle with these because we're going to actually cook them on the stove top, and it's not necessary to preserve the structure of the egg white like you would if you were just going straight into the oven. So we've got everything looking pretty well mixed up here. Just about at this point, I'm going to go ahead and grate a little bit of zest in here. This just adds a little something extra. It's not traditional in Piemonte. It's just something I came up with because I like to taste the orange and hazelnuts. Good, that's looking pretty good. Give it a little tap. Mix this all really well together. And we're ready to move on to the cooking process of these cookies. Good. Once we've got everything properly mixed up, here's the secret in making this recipe. You don't want to necessarily put this directly into the oven and pipe it and just make it like a meringue. What we're going to do instead is we're going to cook it on the stove top. So we're going to just pop over here, drop everything in. Once you get the cookies into the pan, it's really important to just keep them moving around. You want your pan to be sort of at a medium-high heat, not too hot that they're going to burn. It's best to start a little bit lower and pick it up. The key here and what we're trying to do is turn this mixture into something very golden in color. Right now it's really pale, and as we cook it, it'll take on a different color. And I think that's going to be just lovely. So once you get the heat off, it's really important. You can just put some paper down, but it's really important to get this off the heat. And just put it right on the paper here. And what we want to try to do is cool this down fairly quickly. Now what I do is I just turn it onto itself. Just kind of quickly like this. It cools actually rather fast. You don't want to be sticking your hands in here right now. You'll burn them. Great, cookies have cooled now, so all we have to do is form them get them onto the pan. Now I just take a spoon here. Sometimes if I'm really anal about it, I'll go ahead and weigh them. I just sort of lightly crush them and then just stick them on here. Now it's not necessary to make really nice shapes on these cookies. The cookies in fact are called Brutti ma Buoni, which in Italian means simply ugly but good. So feel free to make them as ugly as you wish. And it's really just a matter of getting them on here. Right, so once you've got all the cookies onto the pan here, you just go ahead and get them right into the oven. Now I'm baking them at a fairly low temperature, around 140 degrees centigrade, and you're just going to take them about 13-14 minutes and then turn the temperature up to around 170 centigrade and just cook them an additional 3-4 minutes. What you're looking for is on the bottom of the cookie. They should be nice and dark brown, and that's your clue that they're done. So let's go ahead and get these right into the oven. Okay, the cookies have been in the oven long enough. Let's go have a look at them, see if they're done or not. Oh, they're looking really nice. Nice and golden, nice and crisp. What we want to do here is cool them down a little bit before we get into them. They will stay nice and crispy as they continue to cool. They'll get a little bit crispier. And to store these, if you don't eat them all in one sitting, if you want to store them, it's best just to leave them at room temperature uncovered. If you cover them, they're going to get a little bit soggy. Cookies have finished cooling, and this is truly, truly the best part of this recipe. Is just picking these up, feeling the crispy edges, breaking it open, just knowing it's really soft inside, giving it a good smell. You can smell that orange, and then just eating it.